winners. This is Brenda Underwood coming to you live to talk about side hustles. We are going to go through a steak dinner of how do you launch a side business without committing financial sabotage. So we do not want to launch a business without having a financial plan so that we can transition from a paycheck to a profit check by being an entrepreneur who has a side business that is scalable, that can run with very little of your input after it's set up so that you can just go and pick up a paycheck and not have to exchange hours for dollars. How are you guys doing today, winners? I am so excited to come to you and talk about side hustles, tips, tools, and gems to help you win at life, particularly for women, to help them win from the bedroom to the boardroom. Helping women win and a few good men is what we're all about here at Breakthrough for Life. And so let's just dig right on into it. I want to make sure that you guys come with your pen and your paper ready to rock and roll. 7:30s on Tuesdays. I'm even coming live to you guys next Thursday. Did I say Saturdays at 7:30? I'm sorry, Tuesdays at 7:30. I guess I've already jumped past the week and into the weekend. But Tuesday at 7:30, I'm coming to you live every Tuesday to give you what you need so that you can live your winning life. Now, this is the key. Next Tuesday is April 1st, and I'm usually on vacation. But because I'm so committed to helping women win from the bedroom to the boardroom, I'm still doing a live on Tuesday at 7:30 next week. So definitely chime in, be here, bring your pen and paper, and let's get to the goods, right? Are anybody ready to get to the goods? Now, I am an interactive speaker. I've had to work on embracing Zoom and this video world that we live in. I'm a more of an in-person person. Why do I explain that to you? Because as a motivational speaker, I feed off of my audience. So y'all give me something to feed on. Ask me questions. Drop a hello in the DMs. Let me know you here. I want to know where you're from. What side hustle are you thinking about launching? So I can give you some very specific tips and tools that apply to what you're trying to do. Hey, Ann, I am so glad that you're here and she's joining me from YouTube. Hey, my YouTube people. So now I am live, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. All of those platforms should be seeing my beautiful face come across your screen because we are all beautifully and wonderfully made. No matter how we feel or how somebody else feels about us, God says that we are beautifully and wonderfully made. So I love for women to embrace their beauty, believe in your beauty, call yourself beautiful, live into your worth, because your worth is going to help you show up differently when you are launching something that's brand spanking new to you. So the first thing we're going to deal with, what's the number one reason that people don't take action? People don't take action for lack of clarity and fear. So we dealt with lack of clarity last week. I asked you guys to really think about, what do you want to do when you're launching your side hustle? What kind of side hustle do you want? How far do you want to take that side hustle? Do you want that side hustle to eventually make your job obsolete? That's one of the taglines for Breakthrough for Life. That tagline is, make your job optional until it's time to make it obsolete. Is that your plan for your side hustle? If it is, then you want to know that when you're going into it, because it's going to help you in how you create the entire infrastructure of your side hustle. Now, I help people do side hustles where they're not exchanging hours for dollars, where they created more in a passive stream of income. Now, it may need employees. You're just not one of the employees. So you're going to want to launch your business so that you have employees working for you. Number one question with that, Brenda, I'm scared. Fear. Remember that fear is the second reason why people don't take action. Brenda, I'm scared. I can't afford a payroll. I can't afford this. I can't afford that. This is why, while you're frustrated on the job, you're going to start working on your plan to replace the job. Passive stream of income is going to require upfront time and upfront money. So you want to start working on your intangibles while you're still employed. Okay. And so you want to start working on your intangibles while you're still employed. And we're going to take a look at this comment from Hangman. Well, maybe we're not. Let's take a look. So we are going to be blocking Mr. Hangman because it looks like he is up to no good. Gotta love that when you go live. It's better live on a video than live in person having to get somebody kicked out of the room. But with that being said, let's just move on because we're not going to get distracted with shenanigans. Let's get into making some money. Okay. So when we think about working your intangibles while you're still employed, there are a bunch of activities that need to take place before you ever get a paycheck. And so when you begin to look at launching your business, your vision is important. And I'm not going to belabor that because we talked about it last time. But you want to sit down and think about, if I really want employees running my car wash for me, or if I want employees running my online store for me, if I want employees running my t-shirt shop for me, then you're going to need to do some research on how much money is going to be required for you to really launch your business the way you want to. We don't want to launch businesses with the mentality of, I don't have enough. We don't want a scarcity mentality. Let me tell you, if it's God's vision, it is God's provision, and He's going to show up for you every single time. So do not let money keep you from moving forward. Let money set a plan for you so that you can move forward. So if I know I need to hire a GM to run my car washes, then I know that I have a certain amount of capital I have to raise. Am I going to get that capital through investments, private investors? Am I going to get that money from the bank because I've got good credit? Because if you don't have good credit, the bank is not going to be as big an option for you. Am I going to get that money through SBA loans? Or am I going to just, like I did bootstrapped it up and I just saved up the money to launch my business? You need to decide that, because we want to transition out of corporate into our side businesses or passive streams of income without committing financial suicide. So you do not want to financially sabotage yourself when you're launching a business. That means you need to plan well. So people would say, oh yeah, I need a business plan. I didn't say a business plan. You need a financial plan first. Then you need a marketing plan to support your financial plan. Then you can work on a business plan. But all of them, as the gentleman Paul Carter, who certified me in business growth at Victory World Church, as he would say, all of your business plans, your financial plan, and your marketing plan, they all need to be living documents that you look at on a regular basis. To do a business plan and then turn around and not look at it for a year is not going to help you. You need a financial plan to know how much are you going to need to launch your business. Don't get scared or get overwhelmed by that number. Remember, fear is a deterrent to success. It is going to make you think with a scarcity mentality. I want you to visualize your business as if you have the resources to do what you're looking to do with your business. So when we begin to look at starting our business, we want that financial plan. That means you have to have a vision on what you want to do. If your vision is, I just want to make more money, get off of this live. Because I work with purpose-driven businesses. What is the purpose that is boiling in you that needs to get out, and how do you monetize that? That's what I'm here to help you do. Purpose-driven businesses. So when we take a look at this, I like what Ann is saying. What factors are involved with getting startup funds before you launch your side hustle? Great questions. Factors that are involved is, one, do your research. There are a lot of great people out there that will share with you how, once you have your LLC or your S Corp, how you can get business loans through it. Now, remember, when you borrow money, you don't have to pay taxes on borrowed money. You pay taxes on profits and on profits. So You want to look at that as one option. And so you're going to want to do research on that. The other way that you can save money is you reduce what you spend and start socking money away, as my mama would call it, to the sock fund. That's something in your top drawer where you got money in your socks for when you're ready to launch. Lisa Nichols talked about how she would mail a check back in the day when we had checks, where she would mail a check to a bank account that she didn't have access to. And she did that, if I remember correctly, Lisa Nichols did it for like a year and a half before she even launched her business. And at the time, Lisa Nichols was broke. She was struggling. Her and her baby. So you have to think about, though, how much funds do you need and how do you want to get those funds? I'm not a big person on loans because I hate debt. I hate having to pay a car note. That's why I'm driving a 22-year-old truck. I don't like car notes. I don't like debt. But if you're going to get debt, the best kind of debt to get is the debt that's going to create cash flow. You don't want consumer debt. You want commercial debt, because commercial debt pays for itself. Consumer debt pays from your pocket. Okay, so you can either save the money, you can either loan the money, or you can get private investors. If you network with people who are philanthropists, then you share your business idea with them, and then they may be willing to invest with you. One of my side businesses is, one of my best friends came to me and said, Brenda, I really want to launch this kind of business. Would you help me? I said, I'll help you. I'll give you my brain. I'll give you my infrastructure, but I'm not liquid. My money is tied up. And she said, not a problem. We'll figure that piece out. So we figured that piece out and we moved forward. Never let money be a doorstop, because if it is a doorstop, which means it stops you from opening a door, it'll keep you from walking through opportunity. You can always hustle up some money. You can always get investors. You can always get grants, get loans, or you can reduce your current spending so that you can have extra money so that you can put into your business. So SBA.gov is a great place for loans. I follow a lady named Joy Hunt on Instagram, and she's given me a plethora of information on how to get grants. There's different ways that you can do your investing. You can do private investors. When I go to launch some of my businesses, I look to private investors. Or you can save it up yourself. So those are ways that you can get money for your business. I'm not going to get real heavy into that because I don't want to get into the legalities of that. Everyone needs to do their due diligence on how do you fund your business, okay? I believe in funding your business. For me, I funded my business with my paycheck. So how I did my workplace exit strategy is I significantly reduced my overhead. My credit card debt was gone. My car debt was gone. And the only thing I had left when I left my job was my house note. So I was really adamant about reducing my overall overhead for my lifestyle so that I could put all that extra money into my side business. Now, depending on when you want to quit your job, funding the business out of your job income may be conducive for you. If you're trying to quit your job in the next 6 months, it may not be conducive for you. That means that you're going to have to look to loans. You're going to look to private investors. You're going to look to grants for that. Now, your financial plan is very important for you to know how much money you need to spend on your side hustle so you can start planning. It doesn't mean you need it today or tomorrow. It means, okay, when I launch this car wash, it's going to be $500,000 to buy the property, to build it out. Then I'm going to have to pay for a general manager. Then I'm going to have to pay for software for accounting, AI for some marketing stuff. Have your plan. What all do you need? Then you have your dollar amount. Now, this is the beauty. When you have your dollar amount, I want someone to put in there, and if you would for me, if you would please put in there, know the dollar amount to launch your business. This is a rough dollar amount, but this is the power of knowing the dollar amount to launch your business. The power of that is that you are going to make that a serious point of prayer. Whatever that dollar figure is, make it a point of prayer and ask God to give you the witty ideas that you need to create the income. I believe that is Proverbs 18:22 in the King James Version, or 22:18, one of the two, that talks about God will give you witty ideas to produce wealth. So you want to look and ask God to share with you how you're going to get that dollar figure. And you guys know I'm one who believes in surgical prayers. Be surgical about it. But do you want to buy a new laptop? Know what your out cost is going to be for the business, and you need this before you do your LLC. Okay. I feel like I'm talking so fast because I want to get so much information downloaded to you guys. Why do you want to make sure you know what the cost is that you're going to spend before you do your LLC? Because the beauty of this is when you know how much money you need to spend, one, you can get surgical in prayer about it so that God can help you come up with ways to fund the vision he's given you for your side business. The other thing is when you have your LLC, you need to be able to pull triggers. Okay. So when I say pull triggers, once you have your LLC or your S Corp, which I told you guys last time, you want to do some research on what business structure is best for you. LLC, S Corp, C Corp, which one works best for you? Or is it an LLC that is taxed as an S Corp? That's another option. I don't suggest that option until you've been in business as an LLC for a while. And then you get to a certain income and profit level, then you'll want to do S Corp because it will save you money at that point. Check with your tax accountant. Make sure you check with them to see which one is going to be best for you. But whatever type of business structure you decide, LLC, S Corp, C Corp, once you get that set and it's all in place, then the clock starts because you get tax benefits for launching a business. So you're not going to go get an LLC and then figure out, okay, what is it that I want to do with this? And you don't want to waste time. When you get your LLC, you already want a game plan on how to launch. First, you're going to get your LLC. So let's talk about that. First, LLC, S Corp, or C Corp. If you're doing C Corp or S Corp, you're probably going to need to have an accountant or an attorney help you with it. If you are doing an LLC that is a 1-member or 2-member LLC, you can do that yourself. I did it in like 30 minutes with my partner. We just got our LLC in the last week, and we did our EIN and got our EIN immediately. In the state of Georgia, and I know that this is flowing across multiple states, in the state of Georgia, it is $100 for you to get your LLC. You want to go to .gov and write this down because many people are getting hoodwinked because they're going to websites that are not government websites, getting information and giving information to websites that are not government websites, and they're finding themselves in a pickle in some legalities. Okay, so you want to go to .gov sites. Okay, so you're going to go to the Secretary of State.gov for your local area, Illinois, New York, Georgia. So I'm going to speak from Georgia because I'm in Atlanta, Georgia. So you get your LLC. Then when you get your LLC, you do not need to use LegalZoom for $750. You don't need to use LegalShield to get your LLC. If you can read and comprehend and follow instructions, you do not need to pay someone $750 or $250 to get your LLC. Read, follow the instructions, and set your LLC by yourself. $100. Then your EIN is 100% free. You can go to irs.gov, Google, or search for EIN online submission. We got our EIN literally, this is like the 7th time I've done it, in like 10 minutes. Our EIN came right back. And now once you have your LLC, once you have your EIN, now you can go and get a bank account in your business EIN. Do not get a business account in your SSN number. So let me be very specific here. You want to get your LLC, then you get your EIN, then you go to your bank, you and your partner, if you have a partner in your business, or just you, if it's a one-member LLC, you go to your bank and you open up a business account. That business account needs to be in the EIN number, not in your SSN number. You will be a signer on the account, and you will give your SSN number when you're a signer to the account, but not as the owner of the account. The business owns the account. Everybody got that? Anybody unclear about who owns the bank account? This is very important because you're going to want to research something called the corporate veil. You do not want to pierce your corporate veil by having your business running out of your personal account or vice versa. So that's one action step for you, to go research the corporate veil. Now, we have our LLC, we have our EIN. Now we have our business bank account. If you have decent credit, you'll be able to, and most banks, they're going to want you to apply for a business credit line, and you're going to want to, because you want your business to eventually be a completely separate financial entity from your personal life, okay? So when you do that, thank you so much for taking notes for me, Anne. Business owns the bank account. Yes, the business owns the bank account. So when you have done all of that, now you want to purchase your domain name with your business credit. And you want to pay your business credit card off every single month. Try for the first 6 months to a year not to carry any balance on that business on that business credit as much as possible. You want to pay it off every month, right? So that way it'll help build your business credit a little bit faster than when you're carrying a balance. But if you have to carry a balance, try not to carry a balance any more than 30 to 40% of your available credit. Okay. So now that we understand that, we're going to open up that business banking account. Now we've got our LLC, our EIN, our business banking account. Now we want to go get our domain name. Okay. Now, if you have a very popular domain name or a big business you think someone's going to be stealing your stuff in, okay, try to steal your name or try to copy your brand, then you're going to want to get your domain name, not just in the .com. .com stands for commerce. .ai is for AI companies. .net is for networking organizations. .org is for like schools and nonprofits. And .gov is for government. So you want to get it in your .org, .net, .com, and I think there's one more out there. So you'll want to try to get it in the 4 popular ones. Me, I'm not that paranoid about it. So I only go and get mine in the .com. I'm a for-profit business, so I get a .com as much as I possibly can. I like GoDaddy over everybody else. Fat Cow is another place that you can get your domain name. However, I prefer GoDaddy just because I've been dealing with them a long time, and every time I have a problem, they solve it. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. You really don't know the wherewithal of a business until there's a problem. Then you know the worth of a business. How well do they solve your problems when you have them? That tells you the grit of a business. If you come to them with a problem and they're passing you from one department to another department, that's not a good company to do business with. Okay. So when you're looking at your business, you have your domain name. You also want to have a hosting company. I strongly suggest you get WordPress websites created for you. A WordPress website, the reason why I suggest it is because you can find more developers that will work on WordPress than you will some of these others. Now, are there developers that work on Wix and all these different other platforms, yes, but WordPress is like the granddaddy of websites. They are the standard code for it. It's kind of like Google's the standard for Google for searches online. I mean, how many people use Bing? Some, but not as many as Google, right? Kind of the same thing. Anything else besides WordPress is like Google versus Bing. WordPress is Google, and Wix and everything else is Bing. Okay. Not knocking those. I'm just telling you, as your business scales and grows, you do not want to be fixed into a template that you can't modify. If I need code written on something, I pick up the phone. Hey, Josh, I want to have a call button that follows my web my website followers, that once they're on my website, that follows them everywhere they go, where they can just click call and call me to my 800 number just like that. That's custom code on my website. You can't quite do that with every single platform out there. Some you can, some you can't. So I strongly suggest you do WordPress. So when you get a WordPress website, you also need a hosting company. I strongly suggest that you don't have a hosting company at the same place you get your domain name. That's just mine. I'm not one to put all my eggs in one basket. If one business goes under, then guess what? We can plop over to a next, and you don't stop my business, right? If GoDaddy decides they're not going to do email support or whatever anymore, I'm not stuck in a pinch. I use A2 hosting. I love A2 hosting. They are phenomenal. Thank you, Phyllis Breach, for referring that to me. She was the lady who did my first website. I like A2 hosting. Why? Because I get unlimited email addresses. I don't have to pay for a bunch of email addresses. Plus, I pay annually, and I can have as many domains under my hosting company as possible. So here, I'm running 3 different businesses. All 3 of those domains can be on my one hosting company, right? And so those are all the advantages of doing your due diligence research. So I have unlimited emails, unlimited domains under my hosting company for the same amount every year. That's a no-brainer to me. I'm not one, I do not like a la carte companies that they nickel and dime you for every little thing. Well, if you get 5 free email addresses, but after that it's $9.99 per email address. Yeah, I'm out. Because I expect my businesses to go to enterprise level. So I don't want to be nickeled and dimed. I want to know what my bill is going to be every year. Pricing made simple. Keep the pricing simple, stupid. Okay. And I hesitate to say stupid because in my household growing up, you got slapped in the mouth if you use the word stupid or shut up. And so with that being said, imagine me in my potty mouth. But nonetheless, okay, I digress. Okay, back to what we're talking about. So now we're getting to where the website is being built. Let me tell you, there are 3 things when you're looking at websites. When websites are being built, you have your web designer, you have your web developer, and you have an SEO expert. Very rarely are all 3 of those one person. Very rarely. Now, will people promote themselves as all 3? Yes. But if they don't know how to write code and can build your website from a blank sheet of paper with your idea to the scaffolding and it's all finished, then they're not a web developer. A web developer writes code and builds your website from scratch. They're a little bit more expensive, but it is definitely more unique than a web designer. What a web designer is going to do, a web designer is going to take a template for a website, and they're going to modify it with colors, content, logo, and pictures to your business. And that is a great way to get started. It's a lot less expensive than having a web developer. I'm telling you now, I am putting money away for a web developer to do my next website for Breakthrough for Life. I love the websites that I have now, but they were all built on templates. And I want some different types of customizations for my websites moving forward. So you may start off with a website with someone who built it off of Fiverr or Upwork, I strongly suggest you get to know how those platforms work, because as a small business, as a side hustle, you're not going to own your talent by having people on a W-2 payroll for you initially. Initially, you're going to use freelancers to help you build your business up to where it's creating enough revenue that the business pays for itself. All of my businesses pay for themselves unless I have an investor. And the goal is to get that investor paid as fast as possible. So when you're looking at a website, you want to start off possibly with a web designer. So research those. Fiverr, Upwork, great place to find those. When you grow your business and you have a little bit more revenue, more profit, you may want to upgrade your website with a web developer. Now, this third one, SEO expert, there's SEO experts out there that charge almost $10,000 a month. And I'm not exaggerating, because I've worked with CEOs that have paid that much for SEO, for an SEO expert. And let me tell you, anyone you hire, you are still going to have to manage them. One of the businesses that I work very closely with hired a sales team, an outsourced sales team. And guess what? He needed to pull me in because I needed to bring that sales team, make sure that they were all moving in the right direction. So I really want you to understand, whether you hire an outsource or a freelancer or a company to do your marketing, your sales, or any of those things, you still have to manage them. Do not abdicate your authority. Oh, watch over them. Otherwise, they're going to get you in them pockets and you're going to be in court trying to sue them. Manage your vendors. You have to manage them. Let me take a sidebar. I used to work for Mitchell Williams Law Firm out of Little Rock, Arkansas, when I was taking care of my mom before she passed away. We had to, as a law firm, I did accounts payable for them. As a law firm, we had to manage the vendors. Every single quarter, I would go through all of our vendor contracts and I'd be like, y'all overcharging us over here. And we were supposed to get a credit at once we hit the 1 year mark. You guys aren't delivering this element, segment 4 of our contract that we've been paying for. So can we get a credit for that since you guys never fulfilled that? If you don't manage your vendors will take advantage of you, because not every vendor has integrity. Some vendors only have integrity when you're watching them. So watch your vendors. Make sure if you're hiring someone to do your accounting, you're hiring someone to do your marketing, you're hiring someone to do your website content, manage them, look over their stuff, ask about the process, what steps are they taking, and do yourself the due diligence to do some research on what they're supposed to be doing. Otherwise, you're going to get got. Ask me how I know. We're not going to go into that for the sake of time, but I'm just telling you, know that you're going to have to manage your manage your vendors. Even though you hire someone, it does not mean they're going to do everything they're said they're going to do for you. Not every business operates with integrity. Okay. You hope that you're going to get a business that operates with integrity, but the way you make sure they keep it honest is you keep an eye on them. I'm not saying micromanage. I don't have time for that, but I am going to have checks and balances that spot check what's going on to make sure that we get to the end result. I'm the type of person who I don't care how the watch is made. I want it to tell time. So if you're supposed to get me sales leads, I don't want to be involved in everything, but I'm going to get involved when the sales leads aren't coming. Okay. So now we've covered a whole lot of stuff. Thank you so much, Anne, for chiming in. If you are chiming in, please leave some comments in the please leave your notes in the comments, your questions in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer them as we go along. So now we've gotten all the way to the website. Now, when we talk about website, you have to write the content for your website, or you have to hire a content writer. That's in addition. Your web designer, your web developer, and your SEO experts, they're not going to write the content for you. You've got to write the content. And depending on what type of business you're launching, you always want to have an About Us page. You always have to have your front page, what we call the welcome page. Um, I just read Annie's comment, and Ann, I'll get right to you. Give me just a moment. So you're going to have to write the content for your website. Now, we're going to get into that in a little bit of what you need to start thinking about in order to write content information. Because if you hire a content writer, they still need to learn your voice. We think we're going to hire people and walk away and they're just going to do it for us. They're not, because they're not in your head. They need your ideas. They need to know who's your ideal client, what's the offer you're making, what's the product that you have, what makes it different than your competitors in the marketplace. We're going to get into that in greater detail in just a moment. But I want to talk about this SEO expert. Everybody says they're an SEO expert. I'm going to tell you from one of the CIOs that I used to coach, Miss Teresa Devine. I miss my girl. She moved to Florida on me. Love you, Teresa. This is what you have to understand. You need to do some research on what SEO is, keywords, backlinks, front links, word content, how often you refresh your website, put new content out there. Google's always looking for new content, relevant content, content that has gaps where, there's a lot of information out about this, but there's no information out about this. Google's looking for that type of content. You have to write that content, okay? And you have to give it to your web developer, web designer. But an SEO expert is going to tell you what's the keyword ratio per page. Now, one of the great tools, this is a tool, is Moz. Teresa Devine turned me on to Moz.com, I think it is, but they are great with showing you the information you need for SEO. Okay, your keyword ratio. If you have too many keywords on one page, it'll actually rank you lower. You have to have the right mix. Your SEO is like making a cake. It's a recipe, a variety of things: keywords, backlinks, front end links. How often your content is updated. That's why blogging is great for SEO. Search engine optimization, if you're not sure what that is. Those are all necessary. But if you get an SEO expert and they're not alt tagging your images with your keywords, fire them. Think about how many images are on a website. If you have keywords in each of your images, different keywords, like some of my keywords are breakthrough, crush it, goal achievement. Now I'm forgetting all my keywords. Goal achievement, crush it. Oh, procrastination crusher, crusher, crush it. All of those are keywords of mine. Make your job optional. Quit job is another keyword of mine. If I have that put on different images throughout my website as the alt text, then guess what? I am boosting my keyword search when someone Googles it. Okay. So let me give you a key on keywords. I am a results coach. That's what I do. I get results. I help you. You have problems. I help you get answers. You have vision. I help you implement it. You have goals. I help you get them achieved. Okay. That's what I do, right? So when I built my website, I use life coaching and business coaching. Why? Because nobody Googles results coach. Keywords are based on what your ideal client is going to Google when they're looking for you, not the keywords that you think. So let me talk to my very colorful, creative people. When you want to say you want to have weird spelling for names, okay, understand nobody's Googling that, and that can't be a keyword. So if the way you spell grit is with two G's, RITTTTYY, nobody's Googling that. Gritty, nobody's Googling that. You got to spell it the way that your ideal client would spell it when they're looking for you and they don't even know they're looking for you. What is a stranger going to put into Google to find you? That's what you put into your website as keywords. Specially named stuff, funky spellings, stuff like that. You can't use that for keywords because Your ideal client is not going to know to put that into Google. Okay, what are people going to Google? That's how you pick your keywords. So with the SEO expert, one, you need to learn about SEO, what it is, so that you can grade SEO experts. Because if there's any area of deception that I've seen the most, it's been with SEO experts. People will tell me they're an SEO expert. I'll get into talking to them and find out that they're not, for a variety of reasons. They're not doing enough back-end links. If you have too many back-end links, Google will penalize you. If you don't have enough back-end links, Google will penalize you. Remember, SEO, search engine optimization, is a cocktail that is perfectly mixed together, or a perfectly made German chocolate cake with just the right amount of ingredients. So you really need someone who's good at it, but you need to be informed with it. So let's go to the chat. Let's take a look and see, what is Ann saying? Can you clarify on the business name when registering with the state versus the domain name? Great question. Love questions. Ann, okay, each state, in order for you to get tax deductions and things of this nature, you got to have an LLC, S Corp, or C Corp. You can't just say I'm working from home, or you can be a sole proprietor. And I don't promote that one a lot, because you can, because if you get sued, people can attach your personal and your business stuff when you're just a sole proprietor, right? So you're a sole proprietor doing business as. That's a very dangerous place to be. You don't want to be there. Okay. So when you get your LLC, S Corp, or C Corp, you are registering your name with the state that you live in, and it's protected for the state that you live in. If you want your LLC business name to be protected throughout the United States, then you have to get it trademarked. Okay, that's the difference. So in the state of Georgia, your name is protected. No one else can go and get another name. And I can say it now, Two Farm Chicas. That's the new business that we got coming out soon. I'm so excited about it. And you guys will learn more about it over the next month. But Two Farm Chicas, no one else can go get that name. I wouldn't say the name before we got the LLC done. Now we're in the process of getting it trademarked so that we can cover it from state to state. So that's the difference. When you register your name with the state, it protects people from being able to utilize your name or morph it. It protects you. Now, a domain name, you don't have to have an LLC to have a domain name. Let me use an example. Voice Nation is a answering service. Their LLC can be in Voice Nation LLC, but they had a domain that said greatansweringservice.com. You don't have to have an LLC, and it doesn't have to be registered with the state or trademarked for you to get a domain name. That's why getting a domain name, I tell people, don't get it until after you have your LLC, because once you have your LLC, then you own that name. But if you get the domain name before you get the LLC, and someone really likes your domain name, they can go get an LLC for that domain name, and then you'll have to, they'll go get an LLC for your domain name, and now they're legally protected by that state, and they can make you change your domain name. So registration of your LLC with the state protects your name in that state. A domain name does not protect your name. A domain name is just how you do business on the internet. Okay. Ideally, you're going to want your domain name and your business name to be the same. Okay. Now, I know I work with another lady who she has her LLC in one name, but she has multiple doing business as domain names on the internet. All your domain name is just your URL on Google or on the internet. Hopefully that answers your question for you, Anne, the difference between the domain name and registering your name with the state. Now, next we have Carrington. Oh, this is my free chapel family. I miss you, girl. So what's she saying here? This was awesome, Brenda. I'm happy to say that I do have everything that you have mentioned thus far. Awesome. So let's move into some other stuff. Okay. Yes, Carrington already has a coaching business and she already has her domain name and all that good stuff. But let's talk about, we're going to go a little bit back to basics on the logo and the logo colors. When you're looking to, this is Ann saying thank you. You are so very welcome. I hope that answered your questions, Ann. So when we look at our logo, you want to do a logo that's unique, that doesn't look like everyone else's logo, then you want to do some research on it. You want to research, how do you create a logo? And then you want to just play around and look at all the different logos. There is a really good video that I send to my clients on how to create a logo that tells you the difference between a symbol logo, a name logo, a image logo. There's all kinds of different ways to do logos, and that particular video that I send to my paid clients about how to craft their logos helps them really decide how they can get a logo that stands out. Like, my logo is custom created. I literally drew my logo on a piece of paper and gave it to Phyllis Breach, who created the phenomenal logo that I am absolutely in love with. And I get lots of business on my logo because my logo has a cross in it. And so people often automatically know this is going to be a Christian coach. These are going to be Christian concepts, and it's going to be based on Christian foundation. And that's the type of coach I am. So my logo also has an arrow in it. That means you're breaking through to, and that F, freedom in life, breakthrough for life, right? And so that, it took me 6 months, y'all, to come up with my business name and my logo. I'm doing this to help you guys not take as long as it took me to get my stuff together. Okay. So when I went to go look at my logo, I wanted to look at the colors. So you want to research the psychology of colors. Research the psychology of colors and decide what kind of emotional pull do you want people who don't know you from a can of spray paint. What do you want them to ascertain about you, to discern about you based on the colors? What kind of emotions do you want to evoke in a person when they see your logo? I use aquas and blues. Blue represents confidence. Aquas represents peace and serene and serenity, a serene place, right? Plus, I love the ocean. So my colors, when I went to Exuma, Bahamas, not Barbados, Exuma, Bahamas. Looking out on the ocean, I could see all my business colors in there. I can't tell you how that moved my heart. But you want to look at your business colors from the lens of your ideal client. It's always what's in it for me from the client perspective, not yours. My favorite color is red. So I could have had a red logo and been like Coca-Cola. Red also speaks to confidence, but it also speaks to anger. And anybody who knew me in my heyday knows Brenda got a temper that ain't no joke. And so I didn't want anybody to associate anger with me in my brand, because the Brenda who runs this business is not the Brenda who used to run drugs in the streets 26 years ago. And I don't want any correlation to it. So I don't use red in my logo for that reason, because there's a lot of people who know the old Brenda and they haven't even had the opportunity to talk to the new Brenda. And so I want to speak to the tranquility that I want to bring my clients by giving them options and solutions to help them win at life from the bedroom to the boardroom. So now we're going to talk about marketing message. We've covered a lot in these 48 minutes, but when we talk about marketing message, this is one that you're going to have to continuously be dialed in on. One, in order for you to build your website content, remember I said we're going to talk about website content. People want to say, I got my name, I got my business, now I'm going to build a website. You don't need to do ish. I said it because I'm trying to get your attention. You don't need to do ish with your business until you are crystal clear on who your ideal client is and how you service them by getting rid of a pain, releasing a pressure, adding a convenience, or entertaining them. Those are the 4 reasons people buy. If someone can put that in the chat for me, the 4 reasons people buy is to relieve pain, release pressure, gain convenience, or be entertained. Those are the 4 reasons why people buy. Until you know who your ideal client is and how you service them, you don't need to be getting a URL, a business name, a LLC, nothing until you know who your ideal client is. That is first and foremost in anything when it comes to marketing. I know that my ideal client is typically, now I service people in every realm, but my sweet spot ideal client is a middle-aged woman who has done life script. They went to college, got the degree, got the job. Now the job is pulling on their soul because they're unfulfilled. And now they want to write the next chapter of their life with their own pen and not the pen of society, not the pen of their mama, not the pen of their daddy. They're going to take that pen and that paper, blank sheet, and they're going to write the next chapter of their life. For that person, I'm there. That's my ideal client. They are an ambitious, successful in corporate. Typically they're going to be in management, director, vice president, CIO, CEO. And in order for me to do leadership training, I will only do leadership training in organizations where I get an opportunity to coach the CEO. If I can't coach the CEO, I'm not coming in to do leadership development. People are like, Brenda, you leave all this money on the table. I don't care about leaving money on the table. Why? Because I care about results. And oftentimes, the fish stinks from the head. So the CEO doesn't, unbeknownst to him, is creating a ripple problem in his organization. If I can't speak to the source of the problem, I cannot manage the people or lead the people into getting in alignment. So I only do leadership development coaching with staff when I coach the leader, the CEO. So that's my ideal client. So when I go to do a marketing message, everything is from the lens of my ideal client. You need to know the difference between a tagline and a slogan. You need to have a mission statement, but it is not what you need first. What you need first is a tagline and a slogan. The mission statement is more about governing you and your organization. Enron had a mission statement that they operated finances with integrity. For those in my age group, you know what Enron is. My son may know what Enron is, but maybe not know what Enron is, only because he's a finance major. So my whole point to you, when you're looking at a marketing message, have some strong taglines, have some strong slogans. Like the slogan for Nike is just do it. Quick, simple, and to the point. Marketing is concise. Don't be cliche-ish. Don't be too catchy in your marketing. It needs to land. Your words need to create an image in the mind of your ideal client. So let me give you an image. When I say this is my niche statement, now every single certified coach that I have trained, they come out with a niche statement. Now, okay, the first 3 years, y'all didn't get a niche statement because I didn't have that module in the program. But now the modules in this program, in my coaching laboratory, it's 18 modules. 9 of those modules are all about how do you start a business from scratch, marketing message, niche statement, how to put together your coaching program, how you are going to do your client consultations, and how are you going to get your first paying clients within 60 days of graduating from my certification program. Because most certification programs don't put a big promise on getting clients because they didn't teach you how to do the marketing to get clients. I teach you how to do the marketing in my life coaching certification program. Then you spend 9 weeks on how to be a transformational coach. Now, every person who goes through the 18-week program of Breakthrough for Life, they have come out with a niche statement. And this is my niche statement. If I'm somewhere and there's like, hey, I'd love to know what you do, or, you know, what company do you work for? I'm so glad you asked. Hi, I'm Brenda Underwood. I am the Breakthrough Strategist, and I work with ambitious go-getters that are leaders in corporate that hate their job, that it is literally sucking the soul out of them to work that job. And I help them unlock those golden handcuffs of corporate with the keys to profitable entrepreneurship. You know, those golden handcuffs, that great pay and good benefits. I help them align their paycheck with their purpose so they can move from a paycheck to a profit check. Do you know anyone who wants to launch a profitable business this year? Now, from that niche statement, you know who I am, who I serve, the problem my ideal client has. You know how I help them fix that with a winning workplace exit strategy with a launch of a profitable business. You know what I do. I am a business coach, breakthrough strategist. My ideal client is a corporate leader who hates their job, their pain point. Then the solution I provide help them unlock the golden handcuffs of corporate with the keys to entrepreneurship. And then I land on a question. That's a Lisa Nichols thing. We added that in because of Lisa Nichols' Snap. And if you don't know nothing about the Snap, go Google it. It's out there. She does a great job on presenting it. I love giving credit where credit is due. And Lisa Nichols is phenomenal. And so we use a question at the end because, as Lisa Nichols would say, it doesn't put that person on the spotlight. Would you like to have a winning workplace exit strategy? No, it says, who do you know who wants to launch a profitable business this year? And then they can either say me or somebody else, right? It doesn't put them on the spot. So when you think about that niche statement is less than 60 seconds. It's probably more about 30 seconds if I'm not being so animated when I give it. And that niche statement lands. It paints an image. She is going to unlock me from these handcuffs that I'm stuck to on my job. You see how that lands? You see how that comes across? That is something you get when you know your ideal client's greatest pain. And don't be afraid to speak to it. In your marketing messages, you really need to resonate. They need to understand that you get where they're at. That's why your lives, your social media posts, everything needs to drive to their pain points. And don't just drive to their pain points, give them dream points. When I teach people the I Care marketing way, which is trademarked for Breakthrough for Life, I Care marketing, I teach them you're not just trying to service your ideal client for what you offer. You want to help them as individual people. As John Maxwell would say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I'd like to modify that. People don't care what you're selling until they know that you care about servicing them. And so know your ideal client. I literally will get in the head of my ideal client when I get ready to do marketing messages. And I'll stop and think, what's going on in the world today? How is my ideal client feeling? And let me put together some marketing content that's going to speak specifically to what they're going through. So you want taglines, you want slogans, and you want a magnetic marketing language, plus you want a mission statement. Now, let me talk to you a little bit about magnetic marketing languages. I don't put my pricing online because my pricing is results oriented. Based on the results you want to get determines what your coaching journey is going to look like, because I am a custom coach, not a box coach. A box coach can come and tell you, okay, we're going to take you through 7 steps to success, and it's going to cost you $33.45. And we're going to spend 10 weeks doing that. Okay. They don't know if you already where you're at in the marketing game. You may already have ran a marketing company and you don't need all that marketing help. You may need more time spent on how do I make my product profitable? How do I make sure that I have good margins in my products? That's one of the things I work with my clients on is good profit margins. Now, anybody questions my ability to have good profit margins? I want you to call Brian Mode over at Toshiba and ask him, can Brenda put some gross profit in a deal? And he'll tell you, yes, ma'am, she can. Because I sell results. I don't sell widgets. I don't sell benefits. What is the result, and what is that result worth to you? And more than likely, people are going to pay for it. So when we think about marketing messages, your marketing message wants to speak to the whole person. So sometimes you see me put recipes out on my website, or you see me talk about weight loss. Why? Because my ideal client has to cook dinner in 30 minutes so that she can get to the ball field with her kids. She's trying to win from the bedroom to the boardroom. So yeah, even though I'm not going to teach her how to cook, I can throw her a recipe or two. Hey, in 20 minutes, you can get this shrimp scampi and it's going to be yum, yum to your tummy tum, right? I service my whole client in my social media. But when they're in coaching, I work with helping them get their businesses off the ground. I help them to smooth out the wrinkles from the bedroom to the boardroom, okay? I also, in my marketing message, I'm also going to meet their need. I'm going to give slivers of content that's going to help them live better for free. Because if I can give you good tips to help you live better for free, then how much more when you're paid? Okay, but Brenda, I'm not doing a coaching service. I'm selling products and t-shirts. Why buy your t-shirt? Is your t-shirt going to shrink once I wash it? Is it from Wish, where it goes from a size large to a size extra small after I wash it? If that's not the case, then you want to market to that. Look, are you tired of wasting money on t-shirts that don't look good? I specifically wore this t-shirt. Let me tell you, this t-shirt feels so good. I got mine at Macy's though, but it feels good. The fabric feels good on me. I've washed this at least 10 times and you don't see any change in the graphic, right? You want to market to how you're different. Your marketing messages need to market to your different, how you're different from the others. What is your value proposition? Let me give you an example. Liberty Mutual. Love me some Liberty Mutual. They've been my insurance company off and on for about 30 years. Why off and on? Because every once in a while you need to leave your insurance company so you can get a better rate, so that they give you a better rate when you come back. Okay, that's a sidebar. Now, Liberty Mutual is great, but Liberty Mutual does their commercials and they say a la carte insurance. Only pay for what you need. That's their slogan. Only pay for what you need. Okay. You do know you can do that at State Farm. You can do that at America's Best. I mean, not America's Best. That's the contact place. American Family Insurance. All of them, you can a la carte your insurance. Every insurance company works like that. But Liberty Mutual has coined the phrase, so people think it's going to be cheaper. The perception that it's going to be cheaper, because at the end of the day, it's a la carte insurance. Only pay for what you need, right? One call, that's all. Some of you guys in Georgia already know who that is, right? The attorney. That's the power of a slogan. So slogans are quick, concise, to the point. All marketing needs to be like that. But part of your marketing message also needs to include overcoming objections. You know, when I talked about the t-shirt business, if you want people to pay $25 for your t-shirt that looks just like a $15 t-shirt, you better tell them why. So I always like to use this illustration. When I hire sales staff, you got to sell me something in the sales meeting. Okay. I've been hiring sales staff since I was 19 years old. I am 30. Oh, sorry. I'm not 30. I'm 53. Add 20 onto that. I have been hiring sales staff since I was 19 years old. Okay. I used to run an entire region from Arizona, Nevada, California, and Texas for Unisource Worldwide. And so one of the things that I like to do in a sales meeting is I like to say, these are two pens. This pen costs $2.50. This pen costs $1. They're both orange pens. Why would I pay $2.50 for this pen when I can get orange ink out of this pen? Great. I'm so glad you asked me that question. The difference between the two pens is this particular pen, it's a great ballpoint pen and it's going to be smooth. It has a nice grip and you're going to have a great experience with this pen. But this pen has all of the things that this $1 pen has in it, But this pen, it has the grip and everything for you, right? And it has the orange ink. But the power of this pen is this right here. It's erasable. But this eraser only works on the ink that comes out of this pen. So it's not going to erase the ink from this pen. It'll only erase the ink from this pen. But guess what? This particular pen has a particular property in the eraser where it's going to only erase a pen that's written from here and not ink from any pen. And guess what? A number 2 pencil eraser is not going to erase the ink of this pen. Only the eraser that comes with this pen. That's why you would pay $2.50 for this pen versus $1 for this pen. Do you have a need to be able to write and erase, or would you prefer to use whiteout? Which one's going to be most convenient for you? With this pen, you get rid of the need to pay for these extra correction pens. So basically, you pay $2.50 for this pen, but you get rid of these two. Basically, you save money by buying this pen for $2.50 versus paying $1.50 for this and $1.50 for this, and you got to keep buying these. Would you like to buy a pen today? That's the difference, okay? You need to be able to sell your unique value proposition. What makes you different from the rest? Okay, that needs to be in your marketing language. Carrington, I don't know what she's laughing at, but I'm glad I made you laugh. Let me tell you one thing about my lives. If you don't get any tools out of here, usually you're going to get a good laugh or two out of here. Okay. So with that being said, I miss you too. Oh, Carrington, you're going to make me fly to wherever you're at. Thank you so much for supporting my business, supporting my ministry. You have always been a gem in my thoughts of Free Chapel. It was so, I'm going to tell you, Free Chapel has brought me some of the best people in my life. And so I'm so glad you're joining us today. Now, with that being said, I'm well over time. I want to finish out marketing message. You need to have your tagline, your slogan. You need to have your tagline, your slogan, your marketing message, and magnetic marketing. What I'm talking about now is the magnetic marketing part. You want to dispel the objections that an ideal client might have with doing business with you before they get on a call with you or before they click to purchase your t-shirt, okay? And that means you're going to have to sit down and get in the head of your ideal client and say, what would keep someone from signing up for me? Most people will say the price. Well, the price really doesn't keep people from buying from you. The fact that you have not articulated to them why they need to pay a higher price point for your stuff. That's what that means. Now, sometimes people really can't afford it. But what I found is people who really can't afford it, if they really want your business, it's a, wait a minute, I'm coming back, not a, no, I can't afford that. If it's a, no, I can't afford that and I'm never coming back, you hadn't convinced them fully of your value proposition, okay? So when you think about your marketing message, keep it clear, keep it concise, and get it out consistently. And this is why consistency is the key to magnetic marketing, because a person needs to see your call to action anywhere from 12 to 17 times before it even registers with them. So if you're only putting it out once a week, okay, wait for 18 weeks before somebody buys. You don't want to overwhelm them with it, but you do want to have, some pepper in your mashed potatoes, right? What you want to do is you want to give massive value in your marketing message, right? You want to make sure that in your marketing message, you're covering write this down, y'all, their pain points, their dream points. Give them something that has nothing to do with your business. Like me, I give recipes and weight loss tips. Has nothing to do with my business, but it has everything to do with feeding my ideal client, right? Then you want to have some funnies. People love laughter. Usually before I get ready to do a live, I will put out a lot of relationship stuff out there. The reason why I don't do that as often is because, I don't want my male friend thinking, are you upset with me about something? So I don't do a whole lot of that right now, because me and my male friend were in a real shaky place. But with that being said, sometimes I'll put a lot of relationship stuff out there. You know why? Because that gets a lot of traction to my social media platforms. So when I come out and do a live, they get the notification I've gone live. Okay. Does my ideal client have issues with their relationships? Yes, they do. Because the average person I know is struggling with some type of issue in their relationships. However, am I a relationship coach? No, I am not. Now, can I help you with your relationship? If it comes up in the course of coaching, yes, but I am not a marriage coach. I'm not a relationship coach, because when I did that kind of coaching, it's very exhausting trying to help a couple not go to divorce court. That takes a lot of emotional pull out of me, and it's just more than I'm willing to give. Not that I'm not effective in it, it's just not my fastball. Let's put it that way. It takes a lot out of me to help someone stay married when they're at a point of divorce. Now, have I canceled 17 divorces through my coaching and mentoring? Yes, I have, and I could name them off if I had the permission to do so. But what I am saying to you is I still give them relationship tools and tips from other people who are gurus like Trent Shelton and other gurus in that space, just to help my ideal client. And let me tell you why. And I'm going to land here. The reason why I give my ideal client tips, tools, and gems in areas that I don't coach in, because I'm servicing the whole person, not just the segment that puts money in my pocket. I want my clients, if they need to hire a relationship coach, I want them to go hire one. If you need a business coach, I hope you'll hire me. If you need someone to help you with life, work-life balance, overcome your fears, deal with your procrastination, I hope you'll hire me. If you want someone to help you with your financials on your business, I hope you'll hire me. If you want someone to help you in your dating relationships, go hire somebody else. I know my lane, but am I going to feed you in all your lanes? Absolutely. Because when I don't want my clients to come to my page and all they see is, you want to get a coach? You want to get a coach? You want to get a coach? I got a coach. What color coach you want? What size coach you want? What t-shirt size you want? I don't want them to always be about buy, 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 buy. Because what does that say? You don't care about me as a consumer. All you care about is the money in my pocket. I want my ideal client to know I care about them as a woman. I want you to be happy in your relationships. I want you to be happy in your finances. I want you to raise productive children with excellence. So I service my whole. When you are only promoting your business, then that speaks to your ideal client. I want my ideal client to say, look, let me go check Brenda out, because she got some tips on how to stay motivated on Mondays that I need so I can go into this job today. Let me go check Brenda out, because over that YouTube, over on that Instagram channel, Brenda be putting out recipes like it is dropping like it hot day, right? Let me go over there and see what I'm going to cook for dinner. I want to be integrated in my ideal client's life through my marketing messaging, through my social media marketing. Okay. And so when you look at your marketing, are you speaking to the person? Or are you just speaking to their wallet? People can tell the difference. You want people to know that you love them, you care for them, and you want to serve them. And if you are serving them, then it's not going to feel salesy. You're not a used car sales rep that's trying to sell somebody a car without a gas tank in it or a transmission that's about to go south, right? You are providing value for value. You're providing a service. So look at your ideal client holistically and put out content that will draw them to your community. Whew. I said this was going to be an hour. I shortchanged you last week, so I made up the difference this week. Y'all, I'm going to be back to you guys Tuesday at 7:30 next week so that I can help you win from the bedroom to the boardroom. And we are going to start the first of the month out talking about side hustles and balance. So I'm going to segue what I didn't get to cover, which, look, I have a whole sheet of stuff that I'm covering. I literally am covering with you some of the elements that my clients pay 4 figures to get. Okay. Some of them, not all of them. I can't give away the whole kitchen sink. I mean, the whole kitchen for free. But I literally went through that. There's a few more things that I want to cover. So we're going to cover them next week. And we're going to start talking about how do you balance launching a side hustle while working a full-time job. And that's what I'm going to come to you with next week. This is Coach BU, the Breakthrough Strategist, here to help you win from the bedroom to the boardroom. And I love helping women win and a few good men. So if that's you, if you're ready to win at life, then please schedule a free discovery call with me and let's build your custom coaching journey so that you can have a unique imprint on this earth that leaves a legacy for all those that follow behind you. I hope that this has been enjoyable for you. I hope that you've gotten a lot out of it. And I so appreciate you showing up Tuesdays at 7:30. Coach BU signing off. Peace and love. Bye-bye.